Let's check out some bench press technique. The last time I posted a Q&A, Josh sent in these 3 videos and asked for some feedback, and he said it was cool if I use this publicly, so let's take a look. He also mentioned he occasionally has some right shoulder pain where it just feels generally stiff and achy towards the front of the shoulder, and it's not a huge issue, but it has happened a few times now. I'd say overall this is a pretty solid bench press, but there's a few small things that stand out to me. He's got most of the fundamentals down well. He's doing a good job of pinching the shoulders together and down and reaching the chest up towards the sky as he sets up. And then he has consistent leg drive throughout the set to help maintain that position. Also, he does a nice job of keeping his shoulders in position as he unracks the bar because he pulls it out of the rack rather than pressing it out of the rack where the shoulders really pop up and forwards and lose that position during the unrack. So all of that's really good, but the few small things that stood out to me is first, he doesn't have very much of his wrist or hand underneath the bar as he's setting up. It gets a little better during the rep because his wrist starts to roll back a little bit. My guess is he's just too focused on trying to keep a really straight wrist, but the reality is this is not a realistic position to bench press in. The bar is sitting too far forwards and is trying to roll out of your hand in that direction. If it's cocked slightly back, it's going to be a lot more stable and a much stronger position. So rather than trying to keep your knuckles pointed up towards the sky, we want it more where it's like the second knuckle here in the middle of the fingers pointed up like that with a slight wrist bend back. And also, since the bar is sitting really low, particularly in the pinky side of his hand, he probably has it set at a bit of an angle where he's setting his grip kind of like this. I would probably straighten that out and put it ever so slightly higher in the hand so it's more like that. And then as a result, he's got more of his hand underneath the bar, and this should be a more stable, strong position to press from. The other thing that stood out to me from this angle is his elbows are pretty bent. My guess is if he went to a meet, rather than getting the start command so that he could begin his bench press, instead they would wait 5 seconds and then say, replace the bar. They would explain, your elbows are bent. I need you to straighten them so that I can give you the start command so that you're in the proper position. Because in a powerlifting meet, you have to begin the rep from locked elbows in order to get that start command. So personally, I would not give him the start command if I was the head referee here. And we would rather make that change in training and get used to it than have to make that adjustment in the meet on the platform during his attempt. Another benefit is oftentimes when people have slightly soft elbows and they go to try and set their back position, pulling their shoulders together and down, they end up really externally rotated. They just twist here at the shoulder rather than getting true scapular depression where the shoulder gets pulled down. So if he focuses on really locking the elbow as he unracks and then pulling the shoulder down, he might get more true scapular depression rather than just rotation at the shoulder. As a result, have a slightly better, more stable shoulder position. And then that might also help with the shoulder pain.